In its most simple form, the Vital Thread program is really about creating momentum for a strategy.
I think the biggest challenge often in a business like ours, which is so geographically dispersed but also quite different parts of the business, is how people feel connected back to the mothership, if I can call it that. And what the investment in those events has done for us is help people feel really connected to one another and to the strategy.
I thought the way that the Vital Thread started was building connections with each other, building connections to the business, and building connections, most importantly, to our customer. And it was the understanding of all of that which sort of kicked off the Vital Thread conversation.
Very dynamic, and I felt like there was a lot of variety within the day. So you had different ways of thinking about this, perhaps the same thing, or different ways to get the ideas out, which were quite creative. So there was the aprons, and there was the t-shirts, and there was the paddles and the dots, and all of those things made it more interesting, but really engaged. We're really engaging.
Post-its and team hugs and stuff's not sort of the backbone of the accounting profession. So it was it was an interesting way of meeting someone. And then I sort of thought, no, this is not going to work out. But I thought about it for a few days, and I thought probably someone who's similar to me is not the right person to get us through this next phase. And I think it was definitely the right decision, because I've been to quite a few things. It just lacked the energy and the constant change and the movement and the always creating and so on. And
of the fun activity that was sort of threaded through. So the first one we did the video, the second one and the banners. So I loved that, because I think it actually builds the team together in a really nice way without making it too dry. So I really enjoyed that as well. Yeah.
It's just been very strategic, it's been very focused, it's been fun. I think that's a really good thing. The day we got tied up, or one day, and we all walked to the tube with all our legs tied together.
I love the be the customer. We had to put those white suits on and wander around like Teletubbies. That was pretty clever. And then we backed that up with the t-shirt exercise. I think what's really cool about the way you go about stuff is people get to brainstorm within parameters, so they can brainstorm for a session and sort of see the output almost immediately and move on to the next thing, and then brainstorm within parameters there. And I think that just gives them energy, because they feel they've achieved something and it's a link to the next thing they do, and by the end of it they're sort of amazed by what they've actually come up with. But in reality you've sort of herded them along the way. So you can't beat a good bus trip, and I think some of those bus trips were pretty good.